Hey Seminole family, thank you for joining me for another video devotion. Today I want to talk about how to handle delays. One of the most perplexing questions I'm asked as a pastor is, why does God wait to answer my prayers? If he hears it immediately and he has the power to do it, why the delay? There's always a waiting period. Dreams are never fulfilled immediately. Abraham had the dream of being a father of a great nation. We talked about that last time. He waited until he was 75 years old before he was even told that he was going to have a son. Noah had the dream of building an ark, but it took him 120 years to finish it. That's a long wait. Joseph, as we know, was going to be the ruler in Egypt, yet he spent several years in prison and a decade in Potiphar's house, waiting and waiting and waiting. David was anointed to be the king, but he didn't become king immediately. He was chased all around the country by the current king, King Saul. There's always a delay period. The classic story of delay is the story of the children of Israel who were brought out of Egypt and then wandered around in the desert for 40 years before they went into the promised land. Now, it's only about a 2-week walk between Egypt and Israel as the crow flies. Took them 40 years. What in the world were they doing? Exodus 13:17 says, when Pharaoh finally let the people go, God did not lead them on the road that runs through Philistine territory. Even though that was the shortest way from Egypt to the promised land, God said, if the people are faced with a battle, they might change their minds and return to Egypt. So they were delayed by design. God had them wander. He had them wander around for 40 years. Why? Number one reason is God uses delays to prepare us. The Israelites weren't prepared for war. Every dream has difficulties, and God uses the delays to get us ready for those difficulties. The delay here was designed by God. God uses delays in your life and in my life to prepare us for the difficulties that are ahead of us. Second thing, God uses delays to test us. Deuteronomy 8:2 says, God led you through the wilderness for 40 years, humbling you and testing you to prove your character and to find out whether or not you would really obey his commands. How do you respond to delays? God says it's a test of faith. Your test of maturity is how well you handle the waiting rooms of life when things don't come immediately. How do you respond? When you're going through the delays in life, waiting for an answer to prayer, there's 4 things God says don't do. He says don't do these things because they prolong the delay. Don't fear the delay. Don't fret or don't worry. Don't faint. In other words, don't give up. And don't forget. Always remember, God is with you in the delays of life. Listen, I'm going to be praying for you. As your pastor, I love you. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a great day today.